Hey guys, the Langbanger. I have a new profile for you, and I wanted to go over my Evilswarm deck that I used at the Columbus, Ohio Regional yesterday. I netted a 7-2 record, so not too bad considering, I don't play. It wasn't a top. I typically like to go for top 4, or at the very least top 8. My losses were to an Evilswarm and a Constellar. The Constellar, I honestly had no cards for really. Um, all you had to do is just drop the rank 5 exceed, and you just can't do too much there. The Evilswarm mirror, I just lost because of him having multiple Bahamut's. I only used one. I just felt like my extra deck needed other stuff. I wasn't really, you know, too sold on double Bahamut, just because I kind of run a low monster count. So I don't know, maybe I'll have to up that, but we'll see. But yeah, let's just go into my list here. And also, I don't know if you guys can even tell, but this is a pretty sick setup here. I got lime green sleeves with my gray spellground that has lime green ink on it. So decided to show that off as well. You have one rabbit, you have 3 Thunderbird, 3 Kirkion, 3 Caster, 3 Mandragora, 3 Heliotrope, and 2 Mexi. That was the monsters. On to the spells. 3 MST, 2 Pandemic, 2 Dress, 1 Book, 1 Rhoda, 1 Darkhold. That was the spells. On to the traps. You have 2 Fiendish, 2 Dark Illusion, 2 Mirror Force, 1 Torrential, 1 Emptiness, 1 Warning, 1 Bottomless, 1 Infestation, and 1 Compulse. So, I decided to just go with 2 Pandemic just because it's not too great to open up multiple, so that was my reasoning there. Maybe I would take out an MST for a Pandemic. I just like the MSTs for the factor of, oh hey, if I face dragons, I can kind of stay in the game a little more. But surprisingly, I did not face a single dragon. I said that I lost to Evilswarm and Constellar. I beat an Evilswarm, 2 Chaos Dragons, a Harpy, trying to think of what else, a Dark World, and I forget what else. But I mean, to be honest, like, they were all pretty much rogue decks, so I was really surprised because a lot of people look at this deck and they say, oh well, Ophion, if his main effect doesn't really do anything, then what are you really going to be able to exceed into and put pressure on your opponent? Well, just doing the Ophion and grabbing the Pandemic, like, that was huge alone. So people are riding this deck off for next format just because everyone's thinking like, okay, Ophion may not be able to stop those big dudes. Well, I mean, that is true, but at the same time, being able to search for a card that protects your monsters, like, that's pretty insane. Yeah, that's it for the main deck. Usually I don't do my Saturn Extra, but I will do it this time around. You have 3 Ophion, 1 Ouroboros, 1 Direwolf, 1 Maestroke, 1 Black Ship, 1 Cowboy, 1 Pearl, 1 Zenmains, 1 Crazy Box, 1 Nightmare, 1 Beetle, 1 Bahamut, and 1 Abyss Dweller. Believe it or not, the MVPs of the day, I know you won't believe me, Gem Knight Pearl and Abyss Dweller. I thought of another matchup. I played against Mermail, so naturally this was pretty big. Now you would think like that would be a really easy matchup to begin with, just because if you have Ophion out, it shuts off their Teases, their Megalos, and being able to Synchro Summon if they get a chance to. But I guess like he didn't really open that, but he was definitely getting a bunch of pikes and infantries, and it was actually way tougher than you would think. So this card definitely came in handy. Gem Knight Pearl, it's kind of the thing that I was talking about before. Like, you can drop Ophion, and he may not always do something, so it's kind of cool to have this. Now, you wouldn't think the extra 500 attack, or the extra, I'm sorry, 50 attack would do a whole lot, but surprisingly, I actually hit people for game, like, with this. And definitely in the Evilswarm mirror, like I don't really know how you get over that besides Bahamut, unless you want to summon Direwolf, you know, -1 yourself potentially to go into the Exceed and then pop your monster to pop this. I mean, that's fine. So, that was my extra. And on to my side, you have 2 Veiler, 3 Intercept Wave, 2 Twister, 1 Dimensional Fissure, 3 Surgery, 3 Iron Wall, and 1 Eradicator. So, I guess the card everyone is wondering about is this card. Intercept Wave. It's a really old card. I was hoping I would play against a whole bunch of dragons because this card actually just totally destroys them. What it does, it shifts all synchro summon monsters to defense, and then during the end phase, they go back to the extra deck. So if you're playing against dragons and they have even just 1 synchro, and you're thinking like, oh shit, like I can't get over, that Blade or Colossal or whatever, well, it doesn't matter. You can just play this, shift it to defense, pass turn, and then it just goes back. So, yeah, like I said, I didn't have a chance to, actually use that, but it's definitely really neat. Just being able to put back the synchros and then you can drop an Ophion and then it's like, okay, we'll go ahead and try and do it again. So, I'm actually sad I didn't play this format, like, whatsoever. This was the only event I got to play in. It would have been nice to kind of take this deck and like tech it even further, but yeah, that's my profile, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Leave comments down below and I'll talk to you later. Peace.